So that was me at 8. Now, you probably know a little boy like that. You might even have a little boy like that. But how would you feel if I told you that that young boy was told by his teacher that he'd amount to nothing because he couldn't read aloud in class? That was my reality for a long time. And I remember sitting there in the psychologist's office, being diagnosed with dyslexia. And I was super deflated because I kind of knew what was coming. But I'll never forget, because she tapped me on the shoulder and she said, "Chris, look at me. You either have to own it or it will own you." Holy shit, my life changed forever. I went on to get 2 degrees. I became an international rugby league player. And then I went on to have a fantastic 15-year career working for clients such as Google, Toyota, and Qantas. Fuck yeah. So what happened? Well, there was a lot of hard work. There was a few tears, but really it came from having a crystal clear picture of where I wanted to be in the world and then working backwards from there. So today, my friends, I want to talk to you about something called end state planning. Now, it's a British military planning tool which has been popularized by this guy, Sir Peter General Wall of the British Army, and it's used for a series of high-stakes military operations since the late 1980s, and it comes in 4 key stages. The first is to define your end state. So I want you to close your eyes. This is where you want to be in the world. Imagine who's around you. What does it look like? Who's in it? What does it even smell like? Because we're about to work backwards. Once you have that, you have your decisive conditions. So these are the absolute must-haves in order for you to realize your end state. There's normally about 3. If there isn't, set bigger goals. But basically, once you have that, you then identify your leverage points. So these are the people, the resources, the network that you need to tap into in order to make those decisive conditions happen. Remember, no great goals have ever been done alone. And then lastly, you have your daily plays. So these are the small, actionable, bite-sized chunks that you can do every day that'll help edge you towards your goal. And basically, the rule is you do your daily plays, you achieve your leverage points. You do your leverage points, you get to your decisive conditions, you get to your decisive conditions, you get to your end state. And I love it because I've applied it to so many different areas of my life. And most notably, when I decided to become an international rugby league player at the ripe old age of 32. Now, for context, that's fucking old. So, well, my end state was simple, right? Earn the jersey. I'm half Filipino, so I set myself an end state of saying, I want to play in the test match against Japan in February 2022. Easy on paper, hard in reality. So what were my decisive conditions? Well, it was threefold. One is be fit and strong enough to play at that level. Number 2 was to gain knowledge of the game. My background is rugby union. And number 3 was to make selection. If you don't make selection, the other 2 are great, you'll be in good shape, but fucking pointless. So then you got to say to yourself, right, okay, well, what are my leverage points? Well, the first one is hire a PT and build a 12-week program to get you fit enough and the right condition. Number 2 is to go on YouTube and shortlist all those different players that are in that position and study them. And then number 3 is to basically find out who's who in the zoo in terms of coaching staff. So my daily plays, run, attend PT, watch YouTube, and then spend extra face time with his staff. And what happened? Well, I didn't just make the squad, I became the captain. Thank you. And I wish I could say I led us to a resounding victory, but with 10 minutes to go, I got totally smashed. And not only did we lose the game, I actually fucked my ACL. And I've not actually played for them ever since. But the point still stands. The end state plan worked. And so whilst my dream for playing for the South Sydney Rabbitohs is in the tatters, I still have this moment forever. And I love end state planning because it takes big, hairy, audacious goals and breaks them down to small, actionable, bite-sized chunks. And it can be applied to pretty much anything. And I love it because the way I see it, if it's good enough for the British Army in high-stakes military operations, and if it's good enough for a 34-year-old dyslexic dude who still doesn't know his times tables, I'm sure you guys could get some value from this. So, as we draw to a close on this presentation, I want you to write down your big, hairy, audacious goals on a piece of paper, build an end state plan, and then start living life by design instead of by default. Thank you.